Okay, so we're on vlog 16, part 2 now, May the 1st to the 10th. Just a couple of things about relevant to Thailand that I'd just like to mention. Firstly, teaching English, teaching pronunciation to children whose first language is not the Roman alphabet presents quite a number of challenges. And over the years, I've developed a style, and I've now sort of reached a point where what I do is I tackle the consonants so that the children have to memorize that. And then the more difficult area of the vowel sounds with all their different spellings, the way I teach that is that with beginners, to try and build up their confidence, before we actually read the words, I get the children to write down the vowel sounds in the words. So for example, if we were doing Thailand, it would be the vowel I and the vowel as in Thailand. Okay. Now, I was amazed the other day to find out from the students that in their schools, with both Thai teachers and foreigners, none of their teachers use this style of teaching. That's probably why their English is so poor. I was encouraged, however, a week or so back that one of my old students came back after an 8-month gap. Thankfully, she hadn't forgotten everything, so we've got her back in touch. 2 weeks ago, I went to the bank, ran out of money as usual. It always happens in the holidays. And I was subjected to a very, very disturbing event. I went in the bank with my girlfriend and I had my bank book there and my passport, opened it up, and I do have a habit of cursing. And when I looked at my book, I said, not particularly loudly, but I said to my girlfriend, "Oh, fuck." And within seconds, I had this correction from behind me. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. It was like a teacher telling you that you've been naughty. There was a man behind me with an English accent reprimanding me for using such bad language in the bank. Now, that caught me by surprise, so I wasn't entirely sure what exactly I'd said that was so offensive, so I asked him, could he tell me? He then told me in no uncertain terms that he wasn't going to repeat this sort of bad language. And so I then carried on talking to my girlfriend and being somewhat sarcastic about being politically correct. This individual left the bank, and about 5 minutes later I left the bank, and he was outside getting his clothes on because he had one of these big motorbikes. He wasn't a relic from Fonda and Easy Rider, but you get the picture. I approached him and I just started to say that I'm sorry that I offended him and that I was only cursing the fact that my bank balance was so low. He then replied by verbally suggesting to me that I was invading his space, and then proceeded to warn me that if I continued, he was going to, quote, drop me, meaning he was going to punch me in the face. Now, this man was about 40 years of age, I would guess. Anyway, I proceeded to walk at a reasonable pace as quickly as possible away from him, and I could hear him pacing behind me Eventually he stopped that when I'd got about 15 meters up the road. But it shook me. It was something that I really wasn't expecting. And it just goes to show you've got to be extremely careful here. And in any part of the world, really, because there are these thugs around who emphasize machoism, who are all too quick to start a conflict so that they can show their prowess at being how strong and virile and macho they are. And I really can't stand these people. So anyway, that was my uncomfortable experience 2 weeks ago. On a brighter note, I will come back with another video in a minute to look at sport and some arts.